This is the WatchGeekTime podcast.
Everybody, welcome to the WatchGeekTime podcast. I'm Scott. This is Tim with Independent in Time, independentin.com. How's it going? It's going great. We've got a great show for you today. We got lots of stuff to get to. We're going to talk about Ulysse Nardin. We're going to talk about the coolest Kudoke you've ever seen. We're going to talk about Ochs Junior. Tim's brought some cool goodies. And as we do start off the show, let's talk about what we're wearing first. What do you got on there?
Well, today, this is I guess what they might term as an early club watch or collaboration, as they often talked about today. So this is a watch, it's called the St. Gallen, and I don't know if you can see it here, we'll take it off. It's a doctor's watch, specifically it was designed with a second hand that has 4 second hands, so this makes it much easier for a physician to take the pulse or the respirations of a patient. And it was actually developed with one of the Purist Pro physicians.
That's why it's a club watch, because it was developed for
and
the Watch Pro set.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw it down here.
Okay.
So again, in the you can probably see that.
Oh, that's cool.
Purist Pro around the side.
Very nice.
St. Gallen is a Swiss maker that's been around for a while, and the cool thing about this watch is you look at the strap, it's a rubber strap and actually slides in and out of the lugs right here. So I can probably just do this, right there. So it just slides right out.
So you can interchange it.
Well, not only can you interchange it because it comes with a black strap, but also
you can disinfect it.
Correct.
Because it's a doctor's watch.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's the key. So you just pull the rubber straps off, and you dunk. It's got a screw down crown, and screw on back, and you dunk it in your disinfecting solution, rinse it off, and you're good to go.
Can you put up real tight so that the audience can see all the goodies? Look, the dial's really nice too. It's a checkered dial.
Carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. It's not. Is it machine turned?
No, it's carbon fiber. It's an actual sheet of carbon fiber. That's what carbon fiber looks like.
If it's untouched.
Yeah, I mean it's got a lacquer coating. In fact, down at 6 o'clock, if I can get in the light, it actually says Purist Pro.
Oh, it does. Sure.
Right in. Let's go in here. I don't know if we can focus on that.
Here, you get in there, and I'll see if I can't get it tight. Back it up just a little bit. There you can go. You can see it. A little reflection, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's now a Watch Pro site, but back then it was the Purist
Pro.
Yeah. So
so it's even worth the same amount that you paid for it because it's.
Well, you can buy these still. Actually,
I think so.
There's 178 of these. They didn't sell all of them. In fact, if you go on the Watch Pro site, I think there are still a couple of them available for sale.
Always.
They're not a lot of money. $1,500.
No, I mean they're cool.
Yeah.
And tell us what's going on with the four-handed second hand there.
Well, that way you don't have to wait for a second hand to come all the way around before you start taking your respirations. So you've got a scale over here, and there's another scale over here. That's respirations. This is your pulsations here for taking people's pulse.
Oh, it does both. Because Omega had a watch like this, a doctor's watch, where you had a single pusher on the side.
Yeah, so you got 2 scales around the outside. Yeah, so there's 2 scales. That's your pulse on the right hand side, if you will, and then on the left hand side is for respirations.
Very cool.
So again, it's jumping in out of focus a bit, but yeah, fun piece. I don't wear it a lot, but it's a good everyday beater watch.
It's fun.
Yeah, I've got to get the strap correct.
I'm wearing a vintage Seiko today, and this is a very. This is one of my cooler watches, I think, circa 1970-ish.
It's in amazing condition.
It's in great shape, probably because I don't wear it a lot.
Right.
But it keeps absolutely perfect time. And my understanding is it actually has a predated Grand Seiko movement in it. So it's like the It's got like a Creedor movement in it. And it keeps, as long as it stays wound, it keeps perfect time. And it's even got a 24-hour. It's got a 24-hour little guy there between 10 and 11, and the date at 6.
Not a GMT,
not a GMT.
So similar to the Kudoke.
Correct. And I think Seiko just did that as sort of a fun thing. I mean, what does that mean? That just tells me that when you have to, that your date is.
So I'm just zooming in so I can actually read 24 joules. So this is a highly jouled movement.
And the accuracy of it. Yeah. Here's the other crazy thing about it. Not only is it super accurate, it's got an almost 70-hour power reserve in it.
That's nice.
Which is unusual for such an older watch. So it's got a big barrel, and it's got an exhibition back.
Interesting.
Yeah, really a rare dog as far as Seiko goes.
Yeah. Get in there. It's kind of difficult with the
strap. A little difficult with the bracelet on there, yeah.
No, that's a cool watch.
I actually got a cool out of Tim by that.
Yeah.
Listen, my friends, I live for a cool.
I have a Seiko Turtle.
I live to get a cool out of Tim. So let's dive in.
Okay.
You've got you're teasing us over here with a little box.
Yes. So we're going. To start with, anyway, this is we're going vintage.
Let's go vintage.
This is a piece that I acquired in a trade-in, and it's let's take a look at this.
Oh, my
The fact
goodness.
that it has the original box is kind of cool.
So it's a Vacheron Constantin.
Yeah.
And just a quick little bit on Vacheron Constantin. One of the original crown jewels of Swiss watchmaking, the other two being Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet. Why are they considered the crown jewels, Tim?
Well, they've been around for the longest time. The three companies have been around for a long time, and they've been consistent. They've basically focused on really high quality watchmaking and small quantities, and that longevity, together with the consistency and dedication to the sort of high horology or haute horology, as they say in French, has stood the test of time. And you look at their watches this watch is from 1946, but you can look at APs, you can look at Pateks from that period, and they are some of the finest watches you'll ever lay your hands on. And they weren't made in mass quantities compared to what they're making today. I mean,
and these people never shut their doors, right? They've been opened and stayed open. Like I think Vacheron is their slogan is founded on an island in Geneva and still there, or some depuis 1797 or something.
Yeah, they've probably of the three, they've been around the longest, I understand. But I will say this: their history is probably less pure, if you will, than Patek and AP. There was a period in the 70s that they were owned by some holding companies, and they lost the plot a little bit from my perspective. But they've been doing great stuff for a very long time, and they've made some of the most important historical watches that have been owned by various heads of state and royalty all around the world. Have admired their watches for years because they've made high quality watches.
Sure. And the other thing that I love about it is here we talk a little bit about the movement here.
Yeah. So this is the caliber from Geneva that Vacheron. I mean, they made this caliber for a number of years. And actually, my history is not that good on this particular caliber, but I've seen it in quite a few watches, and it's a lovely piece of high quality watchmaking. Now it looks around the perimeter of the movement, it looks dirty because that's the backside of the dial, but the actual movement itself, and this was a photograph they took a while ago when I opened it. The movement's in superb condition for a whatever it is, a 70-some-year-old watch.
And one thing I always find interesting is this watch doesn't have an exhibition case back, but they still, Geneva striped the.
Yeah, no, it's all. I mean, this is high quality hand finishing. And then the dial is silver. It's remarkable. This watch actually went back to Vacheron. The previous two owners, the guy that I got it from, actually bought it in an auction, and he sent it back to Vacheron in Geneva for service. And they had it for a number of months and probably cost them a fair few pennies. And came back, and it's fantastic. It's what's cool about this, and again, limited with this camera, but where the name is, that's actually enameled on the dial. And the applied Arabics are there. There's a little bit of discoloration around some of the numerals, and but it's in remarkable condition. Now, to my knowledge, this is a 70-year-old watch. A lot of these watches, when they went back to the factory 30, 40, 50 years ago, if the dial wasn't perfect, something had got in there. I mean, these cases they're not water-resistant cases. The dials actually were refinished at the factory. And this particular watch, my understanding, it is a refinished dial, but it's not done by some company that's a sort of aftermarket refinisher. This was done.
It's done by VC.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is why it looks as good as it does. And it's
it's remarkable. And I mean the lugs.
So what's trick about this watch? You can point there, but
you got the pointer. Yeah.
I got the pointer today. So these lugs are really cool. It's like a triple clamshell lug, and it's on the flat. There you get
it's the coolest thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you get a real sense of it. The
it's
crown,
like a snail.
Yeah, the crown, the original crown, and then also the all important Swiss hallmark for 750, which is right there on the side of the case. Again, it's jumping out of focus because that's in the way. There we go. So that little
nub there.
I'll just point to it. So
okay.
This right here, right there, that is your Swiss hallmark. So the fact that it's clear, it's deep, shows you that this case has not been repolished. And in a lot of vintage watches, particularly gold-cased watches, over the years, if they've been worn a lot, they get scratched. And oftentimes when they go in for a service, a watchmaker would routinely just polish the gold. And the definition of this hallmark would decrease over time.
Okay.
Because gold
it would get polished out of the case.
Yeah, and that's on the edge, so that would receive probably more polishing than typically. So the fact that it's still there, nice and crisp, is a good indication that this watch, has not been worn heavily, hasn't been repolished a lot, and that's very important when you're looking at vintage watches.
Interesting. Good point. So when we're talking about companies like Vacheron or even Patek or Audemars Piguet,
Yep.
They seem to have flagship watches. So, for instance, there's two that jump out at me with Vacheron. There's the 222,
Okay.
which a lot of people think it is a Gerald Genta
Design.
design.
I think it was Jörg Heisek, if I remember right.
Yeah, but it sort of was stolen, I think, or inspired by, to use a better term.
Okay.
The 222 is very desirable.
It's 1970s,
And
which is very popular right now.
Yeah, and the way it's notched around we don't have a picture of it, we'll talk about it. But one of the other watches that they did that are super cool that is the one with the offset 12, which is like a driver's watch.
Yes, they call it a historic American watch.
So I mean, like, it seems to me every major manufacturer, like Vacheron or Jaeger-LeCoultre's famous for the Reverso.
Sure.
But Vacheron has always struck me as a company that's been big on chiming watches. So when it comes to repeaters and the like, they've been at the forefront of that.
Yeah, and they've produced them in tiny quantities, but at very, very high level.
Right.
Elegant, thin. Routinely, when they come up in auction, they're highly sought after. But there aren't many of them, and they're very classic and elegant looking watches. I would not say they're avant-garde. Whereas
avant-garde, no, I would not say avant-garde.
Whereas the 222, you could argue, was quite avant-garde at the time.
It was at the time, but I mean now, when you look at these designs, you see a subtle shift in a company's DNA when they reach out to find somebody that's really gone, gone crazy. Like, I don't know that the Royal Oak is that crazy a design, except when it first came out, people were like, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
but then it just
yeah. But the idea of creating a sort of luxury sport watch in stainless steel and from a traditional Genevan watch house was a shock, and they were not well received when they first came out.
No, and it seems like many brands seem to have to sit and wait for their designs to catch fire.
Yeah, that that was for sure in that period. It definitely took a while. But now, I mean, you look at AP now, and it's in a way it's sad because, from my perspective, AP is one of the greats, and they've also done incredible, repeating watches, tourbillons. They've had, a slew of fantastic looking watches, very well made watches at the highest level. But if you think of AP today, most people think of the Royal Oak, and it's not necessarily the complicated Royal Oaks. It's often just what I might call a plain Jane automatic sport watch. It's cool. I get it. It's an interesting looking watch, but from sort of high-end watchmaking, it's is it as interesting as a tourbillon or a cool chronograph or a chronograph tourbillon that AP has done for many years? No, but it
seems that they've jammed a lot of those goodies into that Royal Oak case.
Sure, but they don't. Those they've also made the offshores and all that sort of stuff.
Sure,
but the watch that people pay astronomical, from my perspective, prices for, given what they, let's say, retail for, and in the aftermarket is it just is what it is. It's
I don't understand it personally. Like, a friend of mine has a platinum AP, which was gifted to him by his wife. It's a time-only watch. Mm-hmm. It's a 39, and I've never seen anything like it. The dial is made by hand. The watch is absolute perfection. He never even takes it off. Mm-hmm. I mean, his wife gave it to him, and it's a memory of her. But when he said, "What do you think of this?" And I went, "Oh my goodness, where did you get that?" He said, "My wife gave it to me. I wonder what it's worth." And I said, "It's probably worth a lot more than you think." And he said, "What do you think, $7 or $8 grand?" And I went, "More like 35 or 40 grand." And he didn't believe me, so we went and looked it up, and sure enough, I was $5 grand short.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was probably about 2 years ago, and it's a platinum watch.
Oh, it's worth.
Yeah. Well, no, we looked it up as platinum. I should say we looked it up, and the only specimen we could find was white gold.
Yeah, no, platinum would be much.
Platinum was, and the white gold watch was about 26, so I figured I added another 10 or 15. Yeah. And I've only seen one other like that. There was a guy whose hotel I stay at in Paris, and he's a major watch collector, and he has quite a nice AP like this one. He said his is one of 8, which is, again, a time-only piece. Anyway, so moving on, let's look at this Kudoke, which I think is amazing.
So this is actually this is a watch that I showed.
I'm flashing for some reason. Our background's flashing. Let me get off of our background.
All right. So this is a watch that arrived yesterday. So we're talking about good timing here. I'm just taking the plastic off it. And
Tim's going to take a few minutes to explain this to us, because this is an unusual way to see time. I call it avant-garde.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Why am I getting the plastic? Here we go.
It looks like you found some fresh plastic.
Well, it's brand new, and that sticks.
Okay.
So, without further ado, let's throw this guy up here. I think we're going to zoom in.
Oh, he's just fantastic, isn't he? Wow.
So this is the Kudoke 3 model, and this is a fun way of telling time, which is rather unusual. So it's a time-only watch. It has a minute hand, and it has hour hands. So it actually has 3 hour hands. Currently, what you're looking at...
Get that pointer out there.
Yeah, I'm just going to zoom in a bit.
Good.
Currently... maybe get in a little bit here.
I'm going to get us out of the way here.
Yeah. So currently what we're looking at here is, so you've got your regular hour hand right here showing up at 12 o'clock. So, and the hours, sorry, this is your minute hand right here.
So it's a regulator?
No. Because regulators have 2 different pinions. This is on the same pinion.
Got it.
So the hours right now, you actually got 3 hour hands, 2 of which you can see. One of them, the longest one right here is over here, and the short one is down here. And if I change the angle of the watch, you can see it perhaps.
Perfect.
Right. So
we can't see the third hand now.
Correct, because the third hand, so this salmon portion of the dial sits above the silver dial. So this is a sector, 3 sectors, 3 arcs, if you will, and they've got 4 hours. So right now, this watch is telling the time at 2 o'clock. And so the hour hand is at 2. You've got 2 hour hands because right now the third one, the middle hand, the middle length hand rests right about here underneath the dial. So I'm going to operate it because that'll make more sense. But as the time, so right now, this long hour hand has traversed from 10, 11, 12, 1 to 2. And he's about to disappear off the scale and go underneath the dial, and then, which means this shorthand takes over here.
And he'll be at 3.
He'll get to 3.
Got it.
4, 5, and when he gets to 6, the middle length hand, which is currently somewhere around here, will show up over here and point to 6 and do the middle arc.
You know, what's funny is when you showed this to me earlier, I couldn't figure it out, but you said once I saw it, it'd make sense. So good.
So I'm going to pull a crown.
Okay.
And let's watch the time travel forward. So there's 10 past 2. And that's 2:30.
Good.
So we can see the shorthand right there.
Yeah.
The hour hand is pointing at between 2 and 3. And here's your
At 2:30.
the minute hand. I'm going to keep going around. Now your long one's about to disappear. Gone. Boof. There's 3 o'clock.
Cool.
3:30. 4 o'clock.
Cool.
5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Now, check, what's showing up here.
Oh, hello, friend.
So here we go, coming up towards 6 o'clock, and you'll get 6 o'clock in the middle, and the shorthand is about to disappear. The short hour hand disappears. There's your 7, 8, 9, and again, there's the long hand.
Showing back up.
And he's about to engage with the outer section, which is the 10 o'clock hour. And
Look at that's clever.
And then it's 11, 12, and we're going back all the way to where I started, 1, and then sure enough, there's the short stubby hand shows up for 2 o'clock.
Oh my God, one of the coolest avant-garde watches I've ever seen.
So why is, I mean, it's a fun way of telling time.
Yeah.
Now the inspiration for this watch, and I knew this when I saw this, because I know the background of Stefan, but also way back when I was a retailer for Glashütte Original. Glashütte Original in about, I'm going to say, would it have been maybe 2000, probably 20 years ago now, 2003, 2004, developed a watch called the Pano Retrograph. And what this was it was a stopwatch, manual wind, and it had for the 30-minute counter a 3-arc, very similar to this, 3 sets of 10 minutes, if that makes sense. So there were 3 arcs on the side of the watch, and there were 3 arcs similar to this, same orientation, if you will, as the watch behind me. And instead of having 4 hours, they had 10 minutes in each of those. So there were, and again, they had this exact same system of a minute counter for the stopwatch that had the 3 lengths of arms. So
for the counters.
So they would sweep around, and again, they went underneath the dial when they weren't being shown. So the long hand came out, did the outer arc, the middle one came out, did the middle, and the short one came for short. Now, the reason they use this instead of having a complete round disc of 30 minutes is this watch not only recorded the minutes for a stopwatch, but also had a setting where there's a pusher on the side. You could actually run the chronograph backwards, and you could pull the crown out, set the minutes to however many minutes you want, push the pusher on the opposite side, and the chronograph would work backwards. Meanwhile, the watch is running forwards. And guess what? When it hits to 0, it had a chime like a minute repeater. It went ding.
Wow. So it actually had two trains?
No, it just had a gear
it had
switching.
like a clutch that would switch the gear around.
Yeah,
and
to run the chronograph backwards. So the second hand would run backwards, as did the minutes. It's a really cool watch. Anyway.
So this is his inspiration.
It's his because at the time, Stefan, after he finished watchmaking school in Germany, went to work for Glashütte Original. And he was around when that watch was being developed and built, and he probably filed that away in his mind. Was like, "Oh, that's a really cool trick idea, and maybe one day I'll do something." And sure enough, this is the Kudoke 3. And I mentioned it to him when I saw the watch in Geneva, when he showed this watch initially 2 years ago, I think it was. I went, "It's something to do with the Glashütte Pano Retrograph," and he smiled. He goes, "Well, I did work at Glashütte." Yeah.
Tim, he's like Tim.
No.
They do some cool stuff there at Glashütte. They have the reverse pano, which is amazing to me.
Right.
Which is sort of look at this. This is
the same classic Kudoke, beautiful finish.
obviously his DNA is very apparent as we've seen the back of his watches.
Yeah, and each of these. So I was actually comparing this to the other one I showed last week. The individual engraving on that balance cock. Looking at it quickly, they look like the same, and of course you got the infinity symbol right there.
Yeah, right in the middle.
But if you look with a loop, each one is individual. They're not exactly the same.
Oh, so because all of this stuff is done by hand.
Yeah.
So my question is
they all have an infinity.
They all have the same, but somebody's hand did this, so it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, so each of these little scrolls along the edges are all slightly different in each watch. But that infinity symbol that's right here in the middle, that's the same in each of the watches. But again, it's never going to be, if you've got a micrometer out and measured across that part of the infinity, each one's going to be slightly different.
It's fantastic. Who did the engraving?
I actually don't know. It's not Stefan himself.
It's not Stefan.
No,
okay.
No, he does the skeletonization of his watches, but the actual hand engraving is done by a master hand engraver that he knows in Germany.
Is it the same person who's doing this stuff? Because they all seem to be.
Yeah, same one.
Like I think last week we made mention of Long and Sona. You actually, if you have a lot of Long and Sona watches, like one of our friends do, you can actually know who did the
right. And then also this name plate or plaque right there that says Kudoke, Germany. Yeah, that's hand done as well by the same fellow.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So as far as the other decorations, that's Stefan's, or does he do the work?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they put all that other decoration on there, that brushing, and it's like a frosted finish, and they do all the anglage.
You call it frosted. I call it a tremblage, but I guess I can see it is frosty.
Yeah. But all around, and I think I pointed it out last week, but all around, right around this edge, right, this is all angled, this is all beveled by hand. You can sort of see it there in the reflected light.
God. You're giving me chills. This watch is giving me chills.
Yeah, it's a really cool watch, and I've had a all silver dial version of this one before.
What's the metal?
Stainless steel.
Okay.
39 millimeter.
Okay, perfect size.
With that salmon. So this section here, was in the original watch was more of like a silvered color. I've seen them in. They'll do it a blue if you want. They'll do that like the gold one I brought last week, which was the Kudoke 2.
Right.
So, but I ordered this one for stock because I hadn't had one and it was a newer dial. I thought, great. They selected the strap for me. I have to say I'm loving this strap. I think it's a great strap. So great fun watch.
It's a fantastic watch. Yep. So
brand new, just showed up yesterday.
I guess my only question about it would be if because I said the same thing last week. I love the watches. I'm just not crazy about that rectangle sitting there. Just
with a name?
Yeah, it just seems like it would just be so much cleaner without it. But I get it. I get the branding effect.
Yeah, it's just the aesthetic. I mean, that's the beauty of these things is they all have their appeal to each of us. And if we all loved the same watch, life would be really boring.
Life would suck.
Yeah,
agreed. Should we talk about this UN?
Sure. So this actually is a watch that ties us together.
Yes, it does. We took a picture together. We'll see. This week we added a bumper.
A long time ago.
Oh God! Don't say how long ago, please. Don't say.
You had more hair.
I had hair. I just had hair. I had hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any gray stuff around.
Oh boy.
So this watch, this is one that's been resided in my collection for a long time. I actually got this in 2006, Father's Day, from my girls.
Hell of a gift.
Yeah.
And this is chronometer.
Their mom helped.
Well, that's good.
So this is Ulysse Nardin. It's from the Marine Diver series. You actually had a Marine Diver in that picture.
I did.
So this was, so they had a regular production of typically of a black or a silver dial. And then each year they would typically come out with an interesting limited edition to, have something a little bit more interesting for collectors that wanted something that was not just regular production. Mm-hmm. So this was the second in the series of what I call, actually the third in the blue series. They came up with a Blue Max, which was the original. This is a Maxi Marine Diver, but the Marine Diver was a smaller diameter watch. And then this watch came out. This was the third, and it's called the Blue Surf. And
But the Maxi Marine, which is typical of this design, right? This is
so this is a Maxi Marine Diver is the model.
okay.
But this specific one is called the Blue Surf, and it was limited to 1,846 pieces.
Sure, because that's their,
yeah.
Does it have the placard at 9?
It certainly does.
Good, okay. DNA.
And mine's number 26.
Very nice.
The back, actually, let me just pop the NATO strap because the back is kind of interesting. So the regular watches had a solid back, titanium, actually.
Mm-hmm.
This is partially titanium. Most people don't even know that. It's steel and titanium, but the back on this watch is kind of fun. So it has an exhibition back. And
superb. And the bluing.
Yeah, so I don't think I've actually wiped this, so let me do
that.
Okay. So there we go, that's better.
That's fantastic.
So now this is this is the I call it, I think it's a UN 26 caliber, but it's essentially it's a derivative of the ETA 28 92 A2 caliber. So it's ball bearing micro rotor.
Is it their movement though, or is it started with an ETA?
No, they're buying the Eboche, the raw movement.
They get the kit from
from
Swatch or whoever, and
from ETA, and then they do their own rotor, obviously with their own name on it. But the other thing that they do, which a lot of people don't know, is that it's blue, and I believe it's some sort of PVD coating that changes the size of the parts microscopically, but when it comes to watches, that makes a difference.
Tolerance is huge. Yeah.
So they have to make sure that the watch runs to time once they've coated it with this bluing. So it's a cool, fun piece. And this has been in the ocean. It's been all over the place. It's worn. The rubber in the dive bezel. It's 200-meter water resistant, big screw down crown. But as you look at it, this watch has been used.
Oh, it's beefy.
I have a steel bracelet for it as well, but lately I've been enjoying it on a.
Did it come on a bracelet?
It came on a blue rubber strap with titanium buckle and a titanium section in the strap that UN is famous for. That one side says UN 12 o'clock, and the 6 o'clock side is a titanium section and rubber has limited edition on it.
Oh, cool.
So, but it's blue and it's a fun piece, and I think it's actually got my initials somewhere down. Yeah, it does, down at the bottom. It says TJ.
Oh, very cool. That's a nice Father's Day gift. One thing, show the front. I'm always intrigued by automatic winders that have a power reserve, but again, that's an ode to the Marine chronometer
that we talked about.
So we talked about it, and I think next show we'll actually get a Marine chronometer and talk about why it was so important, because we do understand that tolerances are everything, and if you didn't have a good ship's clock, you crashed, and that's
right.
That
was key. So so that's this watch. This is one of my favorites.
Well, it's this. Listen, this watch has seen a lot of action, I think.
Yeah, it's been around the block, as they say.
All right, what do we got next?
I've actually surfed with it.
Oh yeah, see, pray for surf, Tim. Pray for surf.
Yeah. I have to be very careful with that one.
I surf with my Ulysse Nardin.
I have surfed. I don't typically, but I have.
This one's the beater, folks.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we got? We got, tell me about this one.
Well, I mean, it makes sense to go to this one next. So so as we talked about last week, the great Ludwig Ochs, who is this genius that worked with Ulysse Nardin for many years, developing extraordinary complications, particularly the perpetual calendar, the Freak, and these astronomical watches. He then, when Rolf passed away, business changed. He actually decided he wanted to work after the MIH watch, which I showed you last week. He wanted to create his own brand, relatively inexpensive, using movements that were readily available, weren't expensive, if you will, but he would then add fun complications to them in his own style, which means they're fun, they're simple, and they're not a lot of
and they're inventive.
Yeah.
And so these are modules we're going to look at, right? These are
So one of the watches he came out with was an interesting date watch, and it had a ring around the blue dots on my watch here is the date, and it's as it goes around, you've got a marker here for 2 and 4, which actually is also 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And you get to 30 at the top, and then you've got the two dots, one above the other. So that's 31 and 1.
Also cool. Good God.
But also...
And what do we got? We got Saturn at 6?
Saturn at 6 and the Sun at 12. Now, this particular watch, again, I didn't buy this new. I bought it directly from the original owner who custom ordered it from Ochs Junior. And the nice thing about Ochs Junior is because they're not beholden to anybody, they have the ability to customize a watch to almost whatever you want within the design parameters of what they do. So the colors, the materials, and so forth. So on this particular watch, this fellow wanted a dark brown background. He wanted actually German silver hands. So the hands on my watch are German silver, which is a material that watchmakers use mostly for the actual movements.
Right. I mean, it's usually a bridge.
Yeah, or a nameplate.
Or a plate.
Yeah. It's hard. It's durable. It takes a nice polish. You get great finishing on it. He liked it. He picked Saturn and the Sun, and I probably should be able to tell you why, but I can't. He actually, when I bought the watch, he gave me the box and papers, and actually there's a whole explanation as to why he liked that. He was obviously into astronomy.
But he specified these motifs. Obviously.
Correct. So the sun is in gold, 18 karat gold, and the Saturn, I believe, is in platinum. And it's actually interesting. There's a little bit of discoloration. You can sort of see.
Let me zoom that in there.
Yeah, but there's Saturn.
Oh, there is discoloration on the dial, but that's sort of the O and J way to.
Well, it's sort of patina. But I would say, I'd argue that's not meant to be there.
Oh, okay. Because it seems like there is a relative.
I mean, they do
lack of finish. By design.
Correct.
Okay.
So the movements are good. This is a Swiss ETA 2892 base movement, and then Ludwig's added a module for the date. But also you'll notice there are other 2 discs or 2 rings. So down here at 6 o'clock, you've got 7 dots. And now those are the days of the week. Mm-hmm. So Monday being the top, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sunday is the top. Monday there, today's Tuesday, we're recording Tuesday. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday.
So Tuesday's not lit.
Well, it's actually a different color. And again,
it's just hard to see.
Yeah, it's actually a silver color.
Got it. Okay.
The one critique of this watch is unless you're looking straight on with good light, it's often difficult, particularly to read the day. And then down here, this is the month. And the month is hidden right now underneath the minute hand. No, it's not. No, it's right there, July. Again, it's that.
Yeah, you got to have good eyes.
Yeah. So this is the 12-month cycle. So what is this? This is a day, month, and date. So it's a triple day, but it's an annual calendar. So
it's an annual calendar.
Yeah. So this watch knows the number of days in a month, like the MIH. So this is a derivative of the MIH watch.
So it's based on that same
system,
9-wheel system that he came up with. Question, related, unrelated. When he left, when the big guy,
Ludwig,
when Ludwig died.
I mean, no, he's still.
I mean, Rolf. When Rolf passed away, did Ludwig take over?
No.
He moved on.
Patrick Hoffman took over. He was Rolf's right-hand man, if you will.
So who'd be the lead watch guy there now, watchmaker?
UN now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they keep coming out with a freak like every 3 weeks, it seems like.
Well, so the original freak was that was a very different watch than what they're producing today.
Oh, yes.
They've actually created a sort of a line within Ulysse Nardin that is now sort of the freak, and they've come out with a watch with a crown. The original freak does not have a crown.
No, it's a winding system on the bezel.
Yeah, and the back.
And it's a baguette system, really, floating on those hands.
Baguette system.
Yeah, it's like a baguette movement because it's all in line. You've got the oscillator at the bottom of the chain, and it's all sort of writing on the hand system.
Oh yeah, I mean,
when I say the term baguette, I mean that it's all in line. It's like
it depends where the hands are lined up. Yeah, because the minute hand has that. The wheel train goes along the minute hand.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But so that original freak, when it came out 20-something years ago, was remarkable. People, they freaked.
Well, that was the point of it.
It was absolutely, nobody had ever seen anything like it, and it was brilliant. Some of the watches today are not of that ilk. They've tried to dumb it down, if you will, and they've added a crown, and it's sad, but hey.
Well, listen,
happens.
you and I have talked about DNA, and we've talked about watchmakers staying true to themselves and all that kind of stuff, and this is a company that I think has when Rolf passed away, they lost their way.
Well, they stayed, I would argue they stayed pretty well with Patrick Hoffman running it, but then things changed. The company actually was then sold, and Rolf's wife was a major shareholder, and she decided she wanted to cash out, I guess, for better lack of a better word.
Okay.
So that was when things changed, and the company bought him was Kering, big
The
holding company, yeah.
the coffee company.
And they, they are also in Giro Perregaux. Giro Perregaux and Ulysse Nardin were quite, they're not sister companies, but they shared some ideas together. And, great, wonderful, great houses. One thing just before we leave this watch is two things. It's titanium, which is kind of fun. So this is a raw, basically comes straight out of a CNC machine. This CNC. There's no finishing on this watch, so the surface texture.
And that's by design.
Yeah, it comes out of the machine like this.
Yeah.
But two things to check out. One is the buckle, which is kind of fun. So the buckle on this, the strap goes through and just tucks underneath, so you never have the strap hanging out. So what do I mean by that? So let's just go through here. So when the end of the strap goes like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So it stays on the inside.
And the hieroglyphics on the back of the case?
Well, yeah, so those are hieroglyphics. And again, one of those is to donate the sun. I believe this is Saturn down here. And again, the fellow that designed this watch, that was important for him.
When it gets bespoke like this, do O&J charge a fair amount of coin to accommodate, or is it just part of the...
No, you pay extra for that.
You do.
And actually, here you can sort of see the CNC finish from the milling machine on
Yeah.
the surface. The other thing that's fun about this watch, and that is the strap. What is that strap made of?
I don't think it's leather.
Well, it's a form of, yes, it's not traditional calf leather, no. It's
Right.
not. So this is, it's actually from a sturgeon. And there's a company, I think in Switzerland, that figured out sturgeon leather, sturgeon strap, sturgeon skin, if you will, is water resistant. So I go in the water with this. It's got a screw down crown.
I would think most fish skin is water resistant, but okay.
And doesn't break down.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, smarty pants.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a smarty pants, but
Yeah.
But sturgeon is expensive. Like, I like smoked salmon, but I happen to know smoked sturgeon's even more expensive than smoked salmon.
Right.
This watch is fantastic.
Cool piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. I saw it online. I think actually you've seen it on the Purists. Somebody advertised it, the original owner, and I called them up and said, well, why are you selling it? It looks pristine. And he said, yeah, I'm just not really wearing it. I'm realizing I like strap watches. Bracelet watches. So I'm like, okay.
It's really interesting. Guys fall in love with a watch and then they don't bond with it and they have to move on. That happens.
It does happen.
So we're going to keep it nice and short today because we've been getting comments that the show's too long. So if you don't have anything, that's it for today. If you've got anything else to say, I'm all game. But again, if you see anything you like, some of these watches belong to Tim, some of them don't. Reach out to Tim at independentintime.com.
Instagram at Independent in Time.
Which I'll put all in the show notes, and you'll see it in the...
Call me. My phone number's all over my website. I'm happy to chit-chat, talk about watches, talk about any of these watches, if you've got any questions. I also do replacements.
Well, that's the other thing, and Tim's a full-blown gemologist. So, friends, all I can tell you is if you're interested in the independent watchmaking world, this is your guy. I'm Scott with WatchGeekTime. This is Tim with Independent in Time. See you next week.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, everybody.
See you later.